Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, the God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out, I sell out Babylon. If I throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black if I throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all.
The Constitutional Court has rejected Paul Buchanan's claim to null and void the election for Andrew Holness's seat. So that's a lot. We just have to accept the result, fraudulent though we think it is, bought though we think the election is. We just have to accept the result, gear ourselves up for the next 4 or 5 years, or at any point this government may fall. Good evening and welcome to Global TV. The police brutality continues, and we're back to look at Westmoreland this evening. And we're back to ask Jamaicans, aren't you frightened that it is no longer out on the street that you meet danger? Are you no longer frightened? Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us, to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening and welcome. Which of the Jamaica are you living in? The recognized Jamaica, or the Jamaica that they turn a blind eye to? Or are you in the upper echelons Jamaica? Are you in the professional class of Jamaica? Are you just one of those from the ghetto? Or are you the Jamaican from the street corner? Which Jamaican are you? His PNP has recognized that. JLP has recognized there are many different Jamaica, which several of us lives in these separate Jamaica. That we will get to. Debbie Jervis TV, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, real sweet. Mr. Cool and Deadly, good evening. Sharon Bernard, Barbara Simpson, RJ, Gloria Morris. Good evening, Marcia Thomas, Colleen, Monica Wills, Ladybug, Pamela Acola, Lorraine Smichaels, Charlotte Grime, Miss T, G. Wayne, Sophia Hall, Karen Nemard, Carlene Richards, Violet Watson, Sophia Hall, Sheena Kelly. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. TikTok, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Debbie Jervis, Debbie and Duncan. Hold on. Morgan Terrence, user 5566, Shepherd, and who that? Favor, good evening. Suzette Collin, Norman Ferguson, good evening. I want to say a big shout out to one of my contributors, and that is Marie. I have two main contributors on Global TV that always looks out for Global TV, and that is Violet Watson and Marie. Marie, thank you very much for your contribution today. And I use your contribution well to go and make my live enzymes juice. And as I tell you about my juice, I tell you something about my health. You know, I'm on 2 different regime of herb and spice, which this one on screen is a fresh enzymes drink, as well as, you know, the drink I boil with soursop leaf, clove, garlic, rosemary, dry RM, lime skin, dry lime, and cinnamon and such like and such a forth. No, I don't know if it's too early to say, but there is some changes in my blood pressure. For ever since I was 34, so about 16 years now, I have been on blood pressure medication. But in the last 2 weeks, my blood pressure, Saturday gone 2 weeks, dropped very low to the point where I passed out and ended up at the hospital. And ever since that, my blood pressure is in a lower state to the point where I cannot use the medication every day. I can only monitor my blood pressure and use it if required. But if I cannot follow the regime of blood pressure medication I was on, because what that would do, that would drop my blood pressure too low and put me at risk. So I'm monitoring the changes at the moment. As I said, I'm doing the research on my herb and spice, but I'll still continue to monitor it. But it's for the last 16 years. It's the first I would have been able to go so long without my blood pressure medication. So I'm watching how my um, herb and spice regime is going and monitoring, because this was why my cardiologist, because I wasn't meant to see my cardiologist until next year. This is why they asked me to come in and do some new tests, as well as I need to ask my general practitioner possibly to review my blood pressure medication. And I was on 3 blood pressure medication as well. And even if my blood pressure on an odd day in the last 2 weeks goes above the limit, then one of the medication alone controls it. So, as I said, I'm monitoring how things are going. Joy Reynolds, Joan Pine, good evening, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, this October. Take the time to make yourself aware of the possible symptoms of breast cancer. If there is, some of these cancers really do not have symptoms. Have yourself tested if you are in a particular age group, or if there are cancer gene on any side of your family. It would be worthwhile to have yourself examined. The earlier caught, as in my case, the earlier you find a cancer, the easier it is to deal with it, get rid of it, and overcome it without the stress and pain of it. So use this month to make yourself much more aware. And if, particularly, if you're in a particular age group, or if there are cancer gene on any side of your family, it's worth having the test done. caught earlier, get rid of earlier. So make sure you are looking after yourselves. Daphne Jackson, good evening and welcome. Who else will come here for this evening? Hold on. So the court, as I said, the court has refused to hear the application to make Andrew Holness's seat null and void, despite them stealing the election. We know there are, or we know there were rather discrepancies during the election. We saw the behavior of the Prime Minister. We saw the behavior of the Prime Minister's wife. But as in these issues, taking a case to the court, it takes an almighty lot of physical evidence or corroborative evidence to prove such a case, which can be difficult, especially when it comes to the vote buying and all that. So I know it does not rest well with us, but what we have to do is to prepare and come better next time. Prepare ourselves and come better next time. PNP, come here. Let me get to know out of the way first. Let me get the PNP out of the way first. Because on the issue of Jamar's murder, I'm of the view that the People's National Party should have addressed the issue as well. Some of you supporters of the People's National Party think, well, Mark Golden have to do with this, or not Mark Golden this, Andrew for this, and I maintain both the opposition and the government ought to address the issue. Now, a judge has died this morning, Ruth Lawrence. Condolences to Judge Lawrence's family. We're not using Judge Lawrence's death to play politics, but I want to ask a question. Both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, Cab J, Wagwan, both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party queued up this morning to acknowledge the death of a judge. That judge appears to have lived in a different Jamaica than the Jamaica which Jamar Ferguson was murdered in by our security forces. I don't have a problem that they come out and recognize the passing of the judge or send their condolences or explain their mourning. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I'm having, why that only goes for a certain sector of Jamaica, a certain type of people in Jamaica. Are you saying the brutality of Jamar's death? Nobody no seat, and then everybody queue up this morning to send condolences to a judge? What's the difference of a judge and an ordinary Jamaican citizen, if we are to use that expression? Hmm? What is the difference? We're all Jamaicans. We all have life. And when we lose it in whatever circumstances, then just like I want to understand that it is the human thing to do in Judge Reynolds' passing. I mean, you could have extend that to Jamar Ferguson's mother as well, don't you think? So that's why we know there's many Jamaica with different type of way live in a those different Jamaica. Sharon Johnson Walton, good night, welcome. How you do? There are many Jamaica with different and different away live in a the several different Jamaica. It is a human thing to do to acknowledge the passing of someone. But it don't mean say a judge should get prioritize recognition over any other Jamaican. We are all Jamaicans. Or is it because the judge possible pass of a natural cause and Jamar Ferguson was murdered, so the subject is a bit too touchy? Marcia Gale, how are you? The subject is a bit too touchy, so not even condolences uno can say. So no know, say, you know it happened because it happened before the judge. So for the final out say the judge dead as well, O'Neill Gale, how you do? Uno can come out, come say condolences. Come on now, man. It would be just, especially there's such a human right issue attached to Jamar's case. But let's move over to Westmoreland because the people, usually when we have these police shooting, the people have a story, the security services have a story. It was a bat and ball as to whose story we believe. It was a bit of bat and ball. Natural cause of death is where you died of natural illnesses without somebody else have anything to do with your death. It's just how natural causes when you just die from illness, general illnesses. That's how they define natural causes, as opposed to you would have been murdered, you would have been poisoned, you would have drowned, or you would have died in a fire, or you would have died in an accident, such like and such a forth. But the people of Westmoreland has a story. The security services have their story as well. Usually when these circumstances, Opal, how you do? Fitz Jackson spoke about Jamal today. I haven't catch up with anything of such in the media. I may not see anything of such in the Gleaner where I mainly go to look for things. There's regularly a bat and ball as to whose story do we believe in circumstances like these. But after video surfaced from Jamar's killing, it would be clear for some of us to say, we tend not to believe the story coming from the security services because it's almost the same story all over again. Now, the residents of Westmoreland is saying this young man was asleep and was taken out of his bed and killed. As in Jamar's case, where we know it's an innocent killing, we cannot say case because we do not have footage like we had in Jamar's case to show some of what happened there. Who do we believe? Do we believe a security service that has just found wanting in front of us, that murdered a young man, that tampered with the crime scene, that planted a weapon on the crime scene? Do you understand the position the Jamaica Constabulary Force put us in as people who they're expecting our support in crime fighting? Do you understand the position they have put us in? Because after what came out of Jamar, it's hard to believe them, even if it's true. We're not saying every situation might be a setup, but we cannot say it's not based on what we have seen, based on how they show us what they are capable of doing, how far, for that matter, they are willing to go. It's hard for us to believe their story. So you see, so the divide between when the gap between when the police is getting wider. The gap between us and the police is getting wider. The truth is, we broad brush the entire JCF. But there are good police officers within the JCF, past and present. The problem is the rogues. The rogues within the Jamaica Constabulary Force overshadow the good work of good officers. Even good officers within the force have a hard fight with the corrupt hierarchies above them. One of us we're in a dangerous territory. Wherever we turn Makajukwe. Because when we live in a country where the same people who if we turn towards protection, those are the same people who are killing us innocently, it is very hard. Very, very hard to keep up with them.
I hear the shot them fire. After the shot them fire, when I went back over there, after I want to speak to first. So you come and talk to you, let me have a mother yard. I still go and kill my nephew. He said to me, sir, you know how he work out that way. Because officer said to me.
The youth get killed in underpants in his house. Sleeping. So it's obvious they wake him up and kill him in his underpants. So we need to know and we need justice.
We need justice.
Police are wicked. We need justice.
We need justice.
And you know violence now go on in the community and no violence now go on in the town. The community under Zozo from 3N. The community under Zozo from 3N. Then could unlock up whoever them kill.
No shootout. You no shootout. I can't kill you in the house. I was right here. Turn upon the wall right here. I can't kill you in the house. No shootout or nothing. The system can't work this way here. The police commissioner and after the system, it can't work out. You can't kill someone in Jamaica and they'll tell you about they have gun. The killing have to stop.
No, Raymond, you are Norman Ferguson, rather, you ask a question. Which institution in Jamaica will stand and be counted to deliver fairness and justice? Every institution in Jamaica say that when it comes to election, it is okay to steal the election. You see, sometimes there's a principle in the justice system where you know the crime is being committed, but because you cannot prove the crime or the offense within the threshold of what the law requires for you to prove that offense or that illegality, sometime working on black letter law, it is hard when it comes to proving certain cases. Now, when it comes to what institution will stand up for fairness and justice, the institution of the people, the institution of the people, we are the last guardian of the Constitution. When those who we put in position fails, then it is for us to guard the Constitution. And if it means what we saw happen in Sri Lanka a few years ago, if it means what we saw happen in Kenya last year, if it means what we just saw happen in Nepal recently, it is our duty to make sure if all institutions fail, then it comes down to us, the people, to take matters into our own hand and design a system that will deliver justice to us. As it stands and where the world is transitioning to, do not expect our leaders or our system to change for the better or in our direction without our involvement. And when I say our involvement, I mean from us being at the table with them to us making our opposition to their direction known. We have to be proactive. You see, the problem I have with our politics is that as a people, we get into the jolly from nomination day to election day. And then after that, we forget about everything else. And then politicians have a field day to do what they want. The public service can do what they want as well, because the politicians who is in charge of all these different public services do nothing. So because they do nothing, the civil service who they are in charge of, such as education, healthcare, labor, you name the different public sector, they can run riot. And it goes also back to how we see there is no appropriation account coming from all of these departments, because nobody is holding anybody to account. Nobody. So it really comes down to us as a people to stand up for ourselves. In relation to like the extrajudicial killing and the police brutality, The police is the ultimate authority and law and order. And if it gets to the point where they are the ones who are killing us, they are the ones who are abusing us, the court in this instance is not such of a guardian, because it can only, after investigation, impose a penalty on them. But how do we minimize or get rid of the police brutality without our involvement as a people? I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think there's a magic wand that will be waved and overnight police brutality in Jamaica will become a thing of the past. If you are my age or older, or say from 30 upwards, you know that policing has changed drastically in our country. We know the police never have no manners from morning, police have bad behavior from morning, police corrupt and wicked and lie from morning. But there's a young fleet. I take orders from an older fleet of brown uniforms. It's becoming a danger to even our lives in Jamaica. This is why I'm always of the view that as people, we need to be more interactive in our social life, in our political life, on a day-to-day basis. Or disengagement allows them to do whatever they want to do. Politically and socially, we're not fully aware as well. We're too tribal. So because of that tribalism, we cannot see outside of the tribalism. So when we are to address an issue as a country, we rather address it as labor right or PNP. I think that's such too long of a answer for your question. But I hope all these different parts put together may answer your question, but nothing will be done without our involvement. Our involvement matters. Showing them that we have power matters. Lawrence Wood says the JFC is a good and noble organization. However, the leadership and some members are not. Good and noble. I don't know if an organization designed by the colonialists to capture slave, return slave, and keep them in their place would have been a good and noble thing, regardless of what it has developed into. And given where it is now, I am not quite sure that we are far much removed rather, from that capture and return. If it was to protect and serve, it could be a good and noble thing. What we have, I honestly don't know. Because you see, because of the wanton behavior of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you meet them on the street, and for simple things, they disrespect you, they box you in your face, they call you boy, they call you girl, they extort you when it comes to traffic issues. They will set you up. They will buy out or sell out an investigation. They will shoot you innocently. You see the amount of problem we have with an organization that you're calling good and noble. Of course, there's a massive problem with leadership, not just with Horace Chang. This goes way back. It may have gotten worse under Horace Chang, some would argue, but it is a long-standing issue that many of us are aware of. Now, a Jamaica that is more accessible to the world and the world's information, we would have expect that we police them would wanna move into a more sensible way of policing, a more tactful way of policing. They still approach us like hooligans, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them approach us like hooligans. We regularly also see that they are very much undertrained, or if they are trained, they forget it or refuse to use it when they are out on duty. Reginald Brown. So I don't know how the good and noble part go, because the force as an overall organization does not have a good reputation. It is not that we know of rogue officers here and there. From top down, from the Minister of National Security, right down to the tight pants gun carrying, hungry belly police them, there is a problem. There is a problem from top down. So I don't know if we can put it in a good and noble part. I'm not saying society as they stand now, nothing have police. We need it based on how society is structured in the Western world. But you know, there are a lot of places in this world where police no need for. There are a lot of villages in Africa and Asia where people don't have to interact with police. And they don't experience these crimes. Something is getting out of hand around us. I'm regularly of the view that our police need to be retrained. Not only that they need to be retrained, but when our police officers slip up, there ought to be a robust level of internal discipline. It cannot be that this owner ready to discipline them when it's between Uno and them, but when it's between them, when it's between them and the people of Jamaica, Uno turn a blind eye. Don't walk away from here and think that we are defending criminals. Far from that. Very, very far from that. We believe in policing the society we live in. What we don't believe in is police taking the law into their own hands. Is police becoming judge, jurors, and executioner? What we cannot also allow is to violate human rights in order to fight crime. This is why we have been saying to the Prime Minister for the last 10 years, the crime plan you promised us, give us a crime plan. The most we got of a crime plan from the Prime Minister is meet your judge or your maker. I have a massive problem with that. Because when you see how a lot of these police officers are acting with impunity, when such a reckless rhetoric is coming from the Prime Minister, you have to be concerned. Because if the Prime Minister says so, they expect to have the Prime Minister's full backative. You expect to have the Prime Minister full backative. You expect to have your hierarchies full backative because they've given you the order. If you think they don't look too all right, shoot them down. If it pop up in your head, say that one they might be criminal, shoot them down. Find out if he have a gun on him afterward. Find out if he's a criminal afterward. That is dangerous. Not dangerous to those who are criminal. It is dangerous to just about any innocent Jamaican. And we have seen the experience of it. This is not something that happened out in the street. When you're not safe at home, when you have to open the door for the police, who might take you out in a body bag. I don't know if you understand how serious this thing is. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. Let me see what Junior said. Government can't stop crime. If police force stop crime, they can't get pay. So police force. Lord Jesus. The Jamaican largely view the JCF as corrupt. A lot of evidence to support this view. The rank and files and the top brass don't display any attribute worth emulating. The JCF need to wheel and come again. There need to be a house sweeping in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. There are too much corrupt top brass because a lot of junior officers would want to do well, you know. A lot of junior officers. Hold on there. Lincoln says, yes, I agree with the judge or maker. You agree with the judge or maker, Lincoln? Is that what you're saying? Maybe align with steel. And maybe your piss bun grass. I don't know anyway. You can't go on. You agree with the judge or maker. How do you get to the maker part is my problem. And what intelligence would you get to the maker part to make the decision? You know, I need to deny that person of their life. That's the maker part, you know. I need that person's life is in my hands, Lincoln. Is it not? Isn't that what it is saying? That person's life. I can look at you and I can think, that's a criminal. I must get rid of him. Because a lot of these young men, possibly that they're killing, if they were to take them in front of the court, they don't have evidence or enough evidence. to secure a conviction. So it's easy to just pass the work on to Indicom by killing them and give Indicom work to do. And we will make sure we have one of Horace Chang illegal gun to plant and so them either reach into the clothes for it or on the piece of furniture, even when we tell him send off him move, and him still take the gun and point power. Jamar met his maker, didn't he? Jamar Ferguson met his maker. You agreed with that? Sometimes I think mad puss have become a medicine in our country. Don't you? Sometimes I think to say mad puss has become a medicine in our country. Because Lincoln, after you drink mad puss you just come and tell me, I agree with judge and maker. I decided now. And when we see it for what it is, we can't believe it for what it is, or we can't call it out for what it is. It has gotten to a dangerous point. The police take the wrong impression of what the Prime Minister, all right, make it so the Prime Minister never means to go around and go kill them, which is what he actually meant. But we just have to say if another team mean. Can't you see that the police have taken it literally? Can you not see that the police officers is taking it literally? That's why them wake them all out of them bed in them underpants and kill them. That's why they take them out of their house, carry them round a back door, kneel them down and kill them. That video is out there till you know. Those videos are out there. We have worse than Jamar before. The other young man we saw when they pumped the bullet into him on camera, put him on his knee and kneel down, and they pumped the bullet into him, and then they went out there and tell the media it was a shoot out, because them never know CCTV camera. I watch them. How do we know they're a criminal when there's no evidence presented against them? How do we know that they're criminal and we don't have access to the intelligence that the police is working with? And when the police kill them, we still have no access to the intelligence to work out whether the police acted rationally or not. I'm of the view that we're on the way back to the plantation, you know. I'm of the view that we're on the way back to the plantation because the mindset some of us are in has not removed too far from the Uncle Tom-ism and the Auntie Jemima-ism of the plantation. The house slave mentality is still rife in Jamaica. The house slave mentality is still rife in our country. That's why we're on our way back to the plantation. Because to say, Somehow, all one of know say wrong, one will say it right. Just because it support on a political bullshit and fail to look at what is good enough for us as a people. When you know, say the people will not improve. Hmm? We're not improving. When I was growing up, I only go to old people's funeral. Old people stop dead. Want to notice? Want to notice barring when Dr. Tufton ready to kill them. Old people not dead again. Every other Sunday or every Sunday, there's a young man being buried. When a bike kill them, or them kill them one another, or a police kill them, you don't see that's a problem. You don't see say we regress. We now move forward as a people. Look on with education. Look on with hospital them. Because of our mindset. Our mindset tells us that it's okay to have KFC and $5,000 now and suffer for the next 5 years and complain for the next 5 years. Why the politician you now do nothing for it? What them for do for you when you sell you and them have a contract? You vote for them for $5,000 on a box food. You vote, you get your $5,000 on a box food. Job done. What else do you want? They do make sure they are going to get 6-figure salary on a monthly basis. They're going to make sure in 1 year, in 1 year, they become a millionaire. One day, year, you know, it takes to become a millionaire. So if Uno don't want to get up and make we stop one guy foreign and fix our Jamaica for ourselves, we have a long thing coming. Junior, go on by your business. Junior, go on by your business tonight. Anyway, I go sleep. Man, I tired. But I'm saying to us Jamaicans, let us let go of a labor right and PNP and become Jamaicans. Only then we will see the bigger picture. We are looking at one finger at the moment when there's a whole hand in front of you. A whole hand in front of you. And you can only look at one finger. Drop the tribalism. Drop the dunceism. Drop the me, myself, and I-ism. And let us do it as a group of people. We never come off of the plantation single-handedly. Those who have fought to take the chains off us, those who have fought to make sure we have the right to vote, we are in violation of those people's struggle. You hear me say? We are in violation of their struggle because we have dropped the ball. We have given up all our powers to the political class who are just there to do it for themselves. Until we ready, nothing now gonna happen for we. Because our interest is our politicians. We don't want nothing for ourselves. Nothing. It is the reason why they can promise us the same thing over and over and over every election cycle. Now, Water Commission say, Water Commission say, when if you take time with the water, because they say we have drought. One asks Water Commission something. Water Commission customer in St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland urge to conserve, store water amid ongoing drought. Ongoing drought or inequity in water distribution. How Jamaica fi have drought, sir? And we river them don't dry up, and we reservoir them don't dry up. Is it drought or inequity in water distribution? Tell me the flash flood water how we there. Tell me where the water go make we come with we bucket come catch fill we like much. Tell me which part the water go make we come with fill we bucket come catch we little much. Drought, they said. Drought in Jamaica. We don't have a drought. We lack irrigation and equity in water distribution. That's what our problem is in Jamaica. May have river in my community. Them call it stream or pan or whatever. And we can't get water. I'm sure we don't have drought. Black River hosts the longest river in Jamaica. I'm sure we don't have drought. St. Elizabeth has so much waterways. I'm sure we don't have drought. So tell me which part the rainwater go make we come with keg, come catch we little much. This is how they play with us. Because them can sit down on Miss Thomas' post chair and them can just read and tell with things and we believe say a drought. How drought, sir? What kind of drought? You ever hear the hotel them talk say they have drought yet, sir? All these big plush, how much 1,000-room hotel in our country? Have you ever heard them talk about drought? Drought is a poor people thing. Don't you get it? Drought is a poor people thing. Have you ever heard the people of Cherry Gardens and Beverly Hills and all of the hills, Stony Hills and all that? You ever hear them have drought? Jamaica don't have a drought problem. Jamaica have a water distribution problem. But that's one of the other set of criminal in the country's pocket, the National Water Commission. Whole of them are thief like Andrew Holness. Anyway, Kamina Johnson Smith still rambling on about long-standing protocol, blah, 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 blah. But we pay them 700 million to do nothing. 700 million, you know. 700 million. You know the amount of people turn millionaire in a 1 year? 1 year, you know. You lot who sold your vote for KFC and $5,000. Those who you sold your vote to, you know, within a year's salary makes them into a millionaire. A year salary make them into a millionaire. You have shit out that piece of KFC, and whatever you bought with that $5,000, I'm sure you have shit it out already. But those who you sold your vote to, all it takes is just 1 year, a cut of that $700 million, and they will become a millionaire. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Always remember to raise your voice against police brutality in our country. We must not accept such wanton behavior from our police. They're here to protect and serve, not to kill and abuse. Thank you for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow so when we go live, you will certainly get our notification. Thank you and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part: if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out and sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man, throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison take the seat of the president. Stone one, bring him and Joe one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black, bring him and Joe one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.